Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. Today is the monthly update of the Final Fantasy Dissidia Omnia tier list. Before I go on, I want to emphasize that this list is based on my own opinions for each unit, whether it's by hands-on experience or by researching to find out how they performed for other players in the past month. A lot of people don't believe in tier lists for this game, and that's because they are heavily invested in the game like I am. They are entitled to their own opinion, and that's fine. But I also believe that there are still people out there who appreciate this kind of video in order to point them in the right direction, if you will. In the video's description below, you'll find the tier list videos for January and February, as well as my class guide videos about tanks and dispellers. For this tier list, I'll be using a different format than the two previous ones, and I'm gonna do my best to keep this video below the 1 hour mark. Keep in mind that this will not include every single character in the game right now. I am only including characters that I believe have a chance to see some chaos play with one way or another without having to hard carry them. If you strongly disagree with some of my rankings, let me know in the comment section down below and why you think differently. So let's get started. As you can see, for this month, I'll be dividing each rank in order to more accurately portray how strong I think these characters are. S tier units are those that you will likely include in any team without giving it a second thought, given that they are not heavily countered by the stage and they do not need the team to build around them. In the SS rank, we only have Aranea. There's really not much needed to be said about Aranea. She's the best unit in the game right now, with damage that rivals current JP characters. She's so strong that it's actually frowned upon to be using Aranea for your chaos clears, since she just makes every stage too easy. This unit will not drop off the spotlight anytime soon. Next we have Zac, Rosa, Yuri and Penelo. Zac is just a master tank that simply cannot die and in return can dish out huge amounts of damage. Rosa is still the best aura bot unit in the game. She can single-handedly raise any unit from bad status to actually playable. Yuri can do almost anything: great aura, amazing healing, different options for shaving with gravity no less, amazing damage output and longevity. I could honestly go on and on about Yuri, and I regret not chasing his EX further. Penelo became a monster of a support with her recent EX realization, making her a stance type support much like Ignis, and thanks to that she's very versatile. Her damage output is higher than most supports and she's really turn efficient, which always results in high scores. Closing off the tier S units, we have Emperor, Ultimecia, Ignis, Y'shtola and Rem. First off, still the best magic DPS units in the game, Emperor and Ultimecia. Both turn efficient and mostly focused for multi-target fights. They can carry your damage needs in every stage, and being non-elemental attackers means they can be enabled by enchanters for magic resisting stages. Next we have our three supports. Ignis is a lot like Penelo, but slightly weaker. As you can see, I still think he's worthy of an S tier thanks to his amazing kit. Y'shtola is your free get out of jail card for a lot of stages. She really can't do no wrong most of the times. Last but not least, Rem is one of the most turn efficient supports out there, with turn manipulation no less, and able to deal AOE damage consistently with her fast EX. Both Ignis and Rem are not the easiest supports to play, but they are worth any time you invest in mastering them. Next up, we have the A tier units. In the A tier we have the units that I believe they are still really powerful, but they are not as strong as S tier units, while sometimes they need a bit more catering in order to perform well. Wearer of Light is still amazing thanks to his party shields, and Edge can trivialize hard content for you thanks to his cheese potential, but do remember to remove his speed passives. They are both pretty reliable choices for a tank. Sarah and Vanille are two of the strongest debuffers in the game right now, being able to dish out damage while battering the party at the same time. Lan and Rain as well as Papalimo are extremely good magic units which can imperil their own elements, but they can still get shut down by absorb stages. 8 can shine when you can ensure the enemy will target him, and King can keep spamming skills to no end, never lowering his damage per turn. Lael came back as the strongest current launcher and is able to inflate any stage score to high numbers. Noctis has turn manipulation, launches and lots of damage, but he's not the easiest character to play. Onion Knight is a very versatile damage dealer, being able to switch from single target to AOE at will, but has some longevity issues if you are too careless. Last but not least, Tifa, who I almost put in the S tier, is always your first choice for any single target fight, along with her partner in crime, Y'shtola. Going down to the normal A tier rank, Agria, Setzer and Cloud are still the utility monsters they've always been, even though I believe all three of them are reaching their limit soon. Next up, we have Balthier and Yuffie, who have the niche of stealing buffs from enemies, and they both became extremely good with their EX+. Jecht and Sephiroth are strong single target damage dealers, with Jecht getting free turns from breaks and Sephiroth having that amazing gravity EX. Celeste, as a niche magic tank, has a good damage with her fast EX, and she does well regardless of the fight. Next up, we have the Figaro brothers, Sabin and Edgar, who are actually a lot better than I initially thought. Perfectly portrayed by Inkwelder of the Tomberry Troop. Shantoto and Golbez are strong magic units that imperil their own elements, and they are amazing shavers both at single target and AoE. Gao, on the other hand, is a versatile magic unit with a twist, being able to support the party with heals and has amazing longevity. Bart's EX Plus fixed most of his problems, and now he does everything: gravity shaving, strong aura, constant AoE damage and party battery. Last but certainly not least, Charlotta. As a base EX unit, she is still hell strong, and her increased HP damage aura results in high scores always. And that was it for the A tier units. This is going faster than I thought. I'm trying not to go into much detail about each unit because, like I said at the beginning, I'm trying to wrap this up faster than the last time. Now, on to the B tier units. The units in B tier are not by any means bad and definitely not unplayable, but in my opinion they just can't stand up to the previous higher ranked characters, whether it's their damage, a different unit doing their job better than them, or having to build a team around them, for example. I will not go into detail about their strengths, but rather I want to say why I think they are not the strongest A tier or S tier units. Ace needs to spend some skills in his normal variance moves before getting full stacks to reach his max potential. Bash is an amazing tank, but his damage output is so low, which makes you compensate by building your team around it. Faris is a great dispeller and debuffer, but she's way too slow. Firion didn't bring anything new to the table with his EX+, and his party utility is outshined by other units. Garland has a nice twitch with his delaying mechanic, but he brings nothing else to the table right now. People used Garland in the Pandemonium Chaos, so you may argue that he's a very good unit, but I got a full score using Vayne on that stage, so that should tell you something. Irvine enables range teams and provides healing, but his own damage is subpar. Log is all over the place, but he's a nice filler unit for any team. Lulu can enable any kind of character unless the stage absorbs fire. Her most well-known use right now is to get Aranea through range resistant stages. Rinoa didn't get a rework, and the self-harm is not helping at all. Her damage is good, but she's just a really risky unit to pick. 7's debuff, which is her whole selling point, is just a worse version of Aranea's debuff in my opinion. Terra deals a lot of damage, but she has a stacking mechanic which I hate. Seymour is not higher because he doesn't reach his max potential before the boss is low on HP, and last but not least, Lilith's lack of brave shaving is starting to catch up to her. Kate, Sith and Nego are just taking too many buff slots on the team, and their damage support-wise is very average. Kiaran and Lisa are very similar, I think, with both of them having a stacking mechanic while also providing some party utility, but their damage is just average. Squall and Machina are pretty good pure DPS units, meaning they bring nothing else to the team, while their damage is not exceptional. Van is just not worth using at this point without having Shantodo in the team, unless you really want to get him through a stage, and Kuja honestly feels outdated at this point. Tidus' saving grace is his fast EX, which deals total HP damage to all enemies, but he's too reliant on debuffs and his slash combo uses are too damn low. Yuna is just a badly designed character, unless you really want someone to cleanse debuffs, you are not gonna use her in any stage, in my opinion. Both of her base skills feel like a waste of turns, and her high turn rate abilities aren't helping. Barret is an outdated aura bot that can shave very nicely, I would say. He's like a worse Bard in my opinion. Kimari's kid is very interesting, but his potencies are just not chaos friendly. He's not ranked lower than this because his AoE blind can cheese some stages for you. Last and certainly least is Camel Nuts. I know a few brave people who purpled Camel Nuts, and these are my 2 cents on him. Playing this unit is like trying to look left and right at the same time, so unless you've already mastered the Rasengan, I would avoid him. His kit is just way too messy. Finally, let's go over the C tier units really fast so we can wrap this up. These units are either outdated by not having an EX realization yet, or they got their EX plus quite early, which made them fall in power. All units are included in this tier list can be used in Chaos in my opinion, but the units in this tier will never be your first option for any stage. Afmo, Lena and Selfie provide debuff evasion, but Ignis just does it better. Deuce and Kryl are offensive supports with really crappy damage and not worth at this point of the game. Fang and Zell, being one of the first EX Plus, have become outdated unless you build around them. Leon has average damage but can cheese you stages with his EX. Quistis, after receiving a level 70 awakening, can be used in single target fights in my opinion. Ramza's free turns are amazing for getting score, but he gets a while to get going and his damage is really bad right now. Realm has a loaded kit and lots of free turns, which makes her being able to carry her weight in Chaos, even though her damage is bad. Vincent is another early EX Plus character that is way too speedy for his own good. Noel almost didn't even make the list, but his damage still keeps up with Chaos, thanks to his high attack, but he's only good for single target fights that don't resist his elements. Thanks for watching the 3rd tier list video, and I hope you made it through the end. Don't forget to like, comment and subscribe to my channel for more videos like this, Chaos runs and a lot more. Like I said in the beginning, if you strongly disagree with me on some units, let me know in the comment section down below and let's discuss it. Stay safe inside your homes and I'll see you all in my next video this week. See ya!